Hello and welcome my dear friends, welcome back to Marine Musafir. Please subscribe my channel before we begin. Today we are exploring one of the Denmark's most charming countryside experiences. If you are visiting Aarhus on a cruise, this is a sure excursion you won't want to miss. We are leaving the modern city behind and heading deep into the Danish countryside of something truly special. A ride aboard a vintage steam train through forests, lakes, and rolling green hills. But this is not all. We will also visit one of Denmark's most famous viewpoints, Himmelbjerget, also known as the Mountain of Heavens. If I will try to pronounce it again, Himmelbjerget. I hope I pronounce it right. So, if you love scenic railways, peaceful landscapes, and discovering hidden gems, join me as we experience one of Denmark's most unforgettable day trips. As our coach leaves the port of Aarhus, the scenery changes almost immediately. The busy harbour gradually disappears, replaced by peaceful countryside. One thing you will quickly notice about Denmark is how incredibly neat and organized everything looks. The roads are smooth, the villages are spotless, the farms look like they belong in a storybook. Unlike dramatic mountain landscapes found in Norway or Switzerland, Denmark offers something quieter. Its beauty is gentle. Rolling hills stretch endlessly into the distance. Golden wheat fields sway in the breeze. Bright green meadows surround traditional Danish farmhouses painted in various colors. Cyclists share countryside roads with tractors, and every village seems frozen in time. This peaceful drive itself feels like part of attraction. After about an hour's drive, we arrive in the small town of Bryrup. This tiny Danish village has become famous for preserving one of the country's most historic railway lines. Waiting at the station is today's star, a beautifully restored vintage steam locomotive. The railway is known as the Vrads Railway and has become one of Denmark's best preserved heritage railways. For railway enthusiasts, it's a dream come true. For everyone else, it's simply magical experience. The moment you see it, it's like stepping back nearly 100 years. Black steel polished to perfection. Large driving wheels, brass fitting, gleaming in the sunlight. Wooden passenger coaches waiting patiently. Then comes that unmistakable sound. The coaches feature classic wooden interiors, opening windows, and vintage seating that transport you to another era. As the whistle blows, the locomotive slowly begins to move. No rush. The smell of coal smoke fills the air. It's a nostalgic atmosphere that modern trains simply cannot recreate. No rush, no high speed, just a gentle rhythm. Every turn of the wheels reminds you how people once traveled before electric trains and high-speed rail transformed transportation. This is where the journey becomes unforgettable. The train winds through Denmark's lake highlands. The landscape here is surprisingly varied. Dense forests surround the railway. Small lakes appear unexpectedly between the trees. Open fields stretch towards the horizon. Wildflowers decorate the edges of the track. Every few minutes, another postcard worthy view appears. Eventually, we reach the tiny village of Vrads. With only a handful of houses surrounded by forests, Vrads feels wonderfully remote. The station itself is charming. Vintage railway signs, flower boxes, historic buildings, carefully maintained by volunteers. It's easy to imagine travelers arriving here decades ago when steam trains connected rural Denmark. As our visit to Vrads come to an end, it's time for the steam locomotive to prepare for the return journey back to Bryrup. Unlike modern trains, this historic locomotive can't simply change direction. At the press of the button, the crew carefully uncouples the engine and guides it onto different section of track, allowing it to move to the opposite end of the train. Soon the whistle sounds once again, and we are on the way back to Bryrup, retracing the same beautiful route through Denmark's Lake Highlands. Even though we have traveled this way before, the scenery feels just as magical. Peaceful forests, rolling green fields, sparkling lakes, and charming countryside reveal new details from the opposite direction. Sometimes the return journey is just as rewarding as the outward one, giving us another chance to slow down and truly appreciate the beauty surrounding us. The good thing about taking the same route back is what you missed while going, you can catch up at this time. So I always love when we take the same route back. So stunning view of this beautiful lake of Denmark. So soon we will arrive in Bryrup. So there you go, finally we are approaching Bryrup station back again, and once we are in the station, a nice surprise is waiting for us. That's what guide told us. So let's see what that surprise is. Here we go. Oh, this is that surprise. Wow. That's absolutely surprising. The workshop of the engine. I didn't even think about this. Wow, that's absolutely fascinating. As you can see, a lot of tools kept here of this vintage engine. Wow. This is real highlight. So this engine is repaired in this workshop if it has any fault. So this is the second engine, standby engine. So this is the way it goes out to the platform. Trust me, friends, this was absolutely amazing. The next highlight is Himmelbjerget, translated into English, the mountain of heaven. Now we will drive for 45 minutes through the beautiful outskirts and we will reach Himmelbjerget. Just enjoy the view and the houses. Finally, we reach the visitor center of the Himmelbjerget. It's time to negotiate small hill and reach Red Brick Tower. Although it's only about 500 feet above the sea level, don't let the numbers fool you. Denmark is relatively flat country, making Himmelbjerget one of its highest natural points. A pleasant walk brings us to famous Red Brick Tower standing proudly at the summit. Built in the 19th century, the tower was erected to honor King Frederick VII, who played an important role in Denmark's democratic history. The climb to the top of the tower is absolutely worth it. From here, the views are breathtaking. Below lies beautiful network of interconnected lakes. Rolling green hills stretch into distance. Forest surrounds the sparkling water. On a clear day, the scenery seems endless. This viewpoint has attracted visitors for over a century, and standing here, it's easy to understand why nature here isn't dramatic. It's peaceful, calming, the perfect place to pause, breathe deeply, and simply admire Denmark's quiet beauty. As we make our way back from the summit of Himmelbjerget, there's still plenty to discover. One feature that immediately catches the eye is the impressive wooden sculpture, beautifully carved from the massive tree trunk. It reflects the area's deep connection with nature and the surrounding forests. It's a wonderful example of how art and nature come together in Denmark. Along the pathway, you will also find several information boards and posters sharing the history of Himmelbjerget. This explains why this place has been such a popular destination for generations and highlights its cultural importance, as well as the fascinating wildlife and landscapes that make this region so special. After an unforgettable day, it's time to return to Aarhus. As the country passes by, once again it's amazing how relaxing this excursion has been. No crowded attractions, no rushing from place to place, just history, nature, and one of Europe's most charming heritage railways. Sometimes the best travel experiences aren't about famous landmarks. They are about slowing down and appreciating simple moments. So, was this excursion worth it? Absolutely. If you are visiting Aarhus on a cruise and looking for something beyond city sightseeing, I highly recommend this tour. The vintage steam train. See you in the next destination. Until then, bye for now. Thank you very much, my dear friends.